The paper we're diving into today is Productive Faith and the 5P Framework: Person, Purpose, Protection, Progress, Belonging. A practitioner-informed model for motivation and human sustainability in construction, by Fernando J. M. Lopez.
Yeah, I read this one a couple times actually. It's such an interesting departure from the usual technical talk we see in like construction management research. Here, Lopez focuses on not the bricks and contracts, but human motivation. Why do some teams just thrive while others sort of fall apart, even when all the technical pieces are there?
Right, and that's the big question at the heart of the paper, isn't it? Why don't technical solutions guarantee, healthy and sustainable team energy on site? I liked how he started with this super practical observation. Two similar projects, similar conditions, but one team feels vibrant, almost buzzing with purpose, and the other is just, disengaged.
Totally. And his argument is that what's missing in the teams that struggle is this thing he calls productive faith. And just to clarify, because I had to check twice, productive faith isn't religious. It's this secular sense that your work matters, that there's real meaning behind the effort.
Exactly. Almost, like a psychological foundation, right? So, whether someone is religious or not, the belief that my work actually means something is what keeps motivation alive. I think Lopez is saying that without that, you just get the motions, not the real investment of people.
Yeah, and that sets up his big framework, the 5 Ps. Want to run through those?
Sure, the 5 Ps are person, purpose, protection, progress, and belonging. Each one is a sort of condition or lever that, if strengthened, helps create this state of productive faith.
And they're all pretty self-explanatory, but together, pretty powerful. So, person means you see the worker as, well, a human being, not a machine. Biography, limits, all that. Purpose is pretty crucial. It's anchoring the daily grind to that bigger why.
Protection is interesting because it's not just physical safety, though of course that matters, but also emotional and economic safety. Like, do people feel secure enough to give their best without constantly worrying they'll get, I don't know, thrown under the bus or left out to dry contractually?
Yeah, and progress, that's the need to see actual learning or growth over time, not just punching a time card. People need little markers that they're moving forward, or else, as Lopez puts it, motivation dies silently. That's a line that stuck with me.
And finally, belonging, which, that's easy to gloss over, but it's huge on construction sites, where if you don't feel like you're part of the group, it gets isolating fast. He talks about simple rituals and communication, even small positive language changes, as ways leaders can foster that sense of belonging.
The cool thing is, he's not just proposing this as a fluffy idea. Hey, be nice. He's building a conceptual model with identifiable actions. I really liked his suggestions for micro-interventions. That 5-minute purpose ritual bit, where you just ask, who is this project for? Seems small, but in theory, it reconnects everyone to the outcome.
Honestly, it almost sounds obvious when you hear it, but it's so easy to forget on hectic sites. I do sometimes wonder, can these kinds of interventions backfire if they feel forced? I know I, get a little cringy with mandatory inspiration stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. I think his argument would be it comes down to leadership. And that kind of links us to his leadership triangle model, right? Leaders need a mix of, what is it, predisposition, actual lived experience, and reflection. So if it's just a checkbox thing, people probably smell that a mile away.
Mm-hmm. That triangle bit was unexpectedly nuanced. It's not just, send your supervisors to a leadership seminar. It's about, the combination of who they are, what they've lived, and whether they actually reflect on it. We could probably do a whole session just on that.
For sure. Oh, speaking of triangles, this is random, but did you know there are construction crews that use the triangle as a symbol for teamwork? It's apparently a thing in some safety manuals. I actually don't know why I remembered that.
I had no idea. That's oddly fitting given the paper. But, back to Lopez. You could just ignore the academic labels and see this as, really, asking managers to treat meaning as infrastructural, not just optional.
Or like that meaning isn't a soft factor, but as essential as safety or technical compliance, right? But to be fair, the model is kind of conceptual. It's not statistically tested yet.